going around. And we're happy to come with you here.
Coming up as a young people for a very important position to become a National Assembly member for my constituency. It's not an easy job, and it's not a joke for that matter. We are there to represent the people, and representing the people, we want to introduce a better representation kind of. And when we talk about better representation, we mean addressing the needs and the concerns of the people. We are there to make laws, to authorize laws, and also to repeal laws. We will make sure that we do that on behalf of the majority of the Gambians. Our main focus should not only be the Gambia, but how can we create that platform to make sure that Gambians see themselves internationally.
I wish you the best of luck today and the country the best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay? And I hope I will see you
soon
again in future. And I'm thrilled to be here for Gambia's National Assembly elections 2022 and to be standing here with two of the citizen observers. The Gambia Participates Citizen Observation Group, which is supported by IRI, and Peace Ambassadors Citizen Observation Group, which is supported by our sister organization, NDI.
It's definitely important as domestic observers to take part, because we definitely acknowledge and then accept and definitely welcome all other non-Gambian to observe. And then we have the same credibility to say, before we wait for someone to tell us how it went, why not we take part?
We are so delighted to so far not have seen anything that is concerning or worth worrying about. It's been smooth, it's been quite well organized, and people are coming in and out without any hitches or problem.
People are coming out in their large numbers to exercise their constitutional right, which I have also done as a candidate. And the environment that I've seen, it's really conducive. That I think the results that will come out of it at the end of the day would be something that I as a candidate would definitely accept. If I am successful, I would want to achieve quite a number of things. That is, I have realized that the people of Banjul Central don't have the representative that they deserve in the House. And I think if I get to the House, I would make sure those laws that they are going to put in place, I would definitely reflect the yearnings and aspirations of the people. And also looking at some other issues that we are facing in Banjul Central. That is, we've seen a lot of youths are not employed, and we think it's not part of our mandate to promise them employment, but we think we could facilitate.
I am so grateful that the young people are now engaging themselves in the politics of this country. And they really want to see that this country go forward and not backward. They fought very hard for the change that we got 2016. Gambia is a very peaceful country. And we welcome all observers. Because today in the Gambia, if we are counting the first three countries that are free and fair during the time of elections, you will count Gambia in it. Because our process is free and fair and is transparent. Because it's counting at the spot. And each political party is having a representative, somebody who is there, or two people who are there to make sure that they witness the counting.
When a country decides to invite observers, whether those are international observers, or when they make a determination to have citizen observation, it is important for the process because it allows both the voters and the contestants, the candidates, to see that there are many eyes on the process. And it's really the citizen observers, the citizens of a country that are accredited and participate in the process as civil society observer groups that are the real eyes on the process. And I am encouraged by the degree to which we see lots of people here today in the form of the citizen observers, vibrant candidacies, candidates participating in the process. I see voters around, and I'm especially encouraged by the number of young people I see, and including as election workers. And among those young people, there are a lot of women And that's also encouraging.
I will seize this opportunity to thank all the parties, independent candidates who have participated in this election. It's unprecedented, the numbers we have for this election. If you look at the independent candidate alone, about 85 candidates. It is more than all candidates who were contesting in previous National Assembly elections. That is a clear indication that Gambia have moved. Our democracy is moving. That means the field is level, and I think that is very good going forward. Because it was a transition period. Now the transition is over. We have consolidated ourselves. We have built a strong foundation. Moving forward, it is very, very, very clear. I will call on the Gambians to come out in their numbers as the way they did in the presidential election. This is as important as the presidential election. So we call on everybody to come out and vote. Vote peacefully. Go home and listen to the results. This is my advice, and we thank the Gambian people definitely.
We are very much really happy to receive Scott Mastic, the Vice President of IRI Global Programs at Gambia Participate Office, Madam Robina, the Resident Country Director, and Alisa, the Programs Manager for West Africa at Gambia Participate. So what we were doing, we actually had a very fruitful conversation regarding what Gambia Participate have been doing over the past years, strengthening democracy, and in different areas of intervention that we've been working with, and also some of the success stories and challenges. And I think as a country we've gone a long way with our democracy, and that's also thanks to the effort of the civil society and of the government, and in building up that democracy. But still, there are some challenges that we need to build up. So we are actually having this conversation, discussing also ideas as to how we can actually improve this nascent democracy that we have built up. Saturday, 9 April 2022, Gambians are currently going to the polls to exercise their franchise as codified in Section 39 of the 1997 Constitution. Gambia Participate and its partners, Gambia Bar Association and the Transitional Justice Working Group, deployed 411 observers, accredited observers, 65 of which are roving observers in all the 53 constituencies of the Gambia to observe the election process and share reports on the conduct of the elections. This situational statement is based on verified observer reports on the opening and setup of polling units and provides information on arrival of election materials, presence of polling officials, the presence of security personnel, presence of party agents, availability of essential election materials, and accessibility of polling stations. This report also highlights critical incidents observed that may impact the integrity of the elections. Gambia Participate is leveraging a systematic election observation methodology to observe this election, and the data provided in this statement is based on reports received from our polling unit observers in all the 53 constituencies as of the time of reporting. Preliminary findings. Gambia Participate have observed the following key issues during the opening and set of polling stations across the country. The arrival of polling officials and opening of polling stations. As of 7:30 a.m., Gambia Participate observers reported that IEC electoral officers were present in 98% of the polling stations. Commencement of voting. Voting was underway in 26% of polling stations before 8 a.m., and by 8:30 a.m., voting had begun in 100% of observed polling stations. Deployment of polling officials. In those polling units where IEC officials and materials arrived, on average, 4 polling officers were present in all the polling stations observed, 2 of which are women. Thus, we call on citizens to use this rare opportunity and exercise their franchise under Section 39 of the 1997 Constitution, which is funded by their own money. Preliminary recommendations. The IEC should remain vigilant and independent in the results collation and announcement of results without undue influence. As the voting process is about to end in hours, the IEC must ensure that the ballot tokens are counted openly and that all polling stations have the results form posted at the polling station for the public to see. The IEC should consistently publish certified election results as they are announced on their website and social media platform to increase transparency of the process. We call on political parties, candidates, and their supporters to adhere to the electoral codes and respect the decision of the majority.